What does it say, girl?
Um, it says hide and seek. Are we really gonna play that?
Hello, and welcome back to Think Outside the Box Office, the show where we review movies that can be enjoyed from the comfort of your couch. This week, we have Ready or Not, the 2019, dark comedy, horror comedy, starring Samara Weaving and directed by the duo known as Radio Silence. Their names are Matt Bettinelli Olton and Tyler Gillett. They did Scream 5 and 6. They're doing Ready or Not. They've got Ready or Not 2 coming in theaters March 20th. I think it looks pretty cool. It's going to be a cool continuation of this movie. Out the gate, I really like this. This is my second time seeing this movie. I think it's super cool. I think it's got a cool kind of creative plot. I do have some questions, but I thought this was something neat. The directing duo delivers every time. They did Abigail, like the vampire movie that came out a few years ago.
Abigail
I thought that was cool. Samara Weaving is great to look at. She's totally kick-ass in this film. I thought this was really awesome. I'm going to start with you, Nick, on first impressions, because I believe you originally were not a super fan of this. Am I wrong?
Unless I said that to you, I don't remember feeling that way. I know I've seen it.
Okay.
This would have been my second time seeing it. Excuse me. I saw it once, probably early COVID, so this came out in 2019. I probably saw it in like 2020 or 2021. I do like it. It's not my favorite. It is a good movie. I think everything that these guys have done is pretty rad. And I was looking at their upcoming slate, which we can kind of circle back to later. Also, a lot of cool shit in the pipeline from these guys. Yeah, dude. I mean, you said it right out the gate. Samara Weaving is absolutely gorgeous. She kicks a lot of ass in this movie. We got a high body count, which is pretty cool for something that teeters on like horror and comedy. You know what I mean? Yeah, we get a lot of cool familiar faces with Adam Brody, Andy Mack, Henry Czerny, things like that. The cast. Yeah, this was cool. I'm excited to break it down.
Awesome. Tyler, man, what about you? First impressions here.
Yeah, I think you might have been thinking about me earlier when you said that Nick didn't like it on his first viewing, because I remember not loving it my first time through. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't that super memorable to me. I think when this was coming out, I was like a new dad. So this is kind of in a period of like a movie black hole for me, where I know I watched movies, but I don't really remember anything about them.
Dude.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember being kind of iffy on the plot. I will say that I like this movie more every time I see it. I watched it twice this week for the show, and each time I liked it more and more. Like the first time I kind of went in with that same feeling of like, I don't know if I dig the plot that's, that they're doing here. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. And then the second time I watched it, I was like, all right, yeah, this is cool. I'm into this. I was kind of surprised you picked this one for this week, because I know you guys aren't really horror comedy guys.
That is a good point. I don't know that I would call this.
Yeah,
I don't know,
this
man.
is wrong. This
Maybe,
is horror comedy.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm the one that's like stupid and fucked up on what horror comedy actually means. I don't know that I would. Like, I think this is more horror comedy than Scream, but we're not quite Leprechaun. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that too. Yeah, about Scream.
No,
And-
this is
and
this is
IMDb
100% horror comedy. The bad guys in this movie are a bunch of bumbling idiots. They're a bunch of stumbling around, don't know what they're doing.
True.
Like,
I think IMDb labeled this as a dark comedy, which I think is what I said in the intro as well. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling it a horror comedy. If we want to call it horror comedy for the sake of calling it horror comedy, all right, cool. We'll call it horror comedy. I did enjoy this. This was a lot of fun. I actually did find myself like LOLing as I'm watching this, and we can dive into some of those points later on. Before we go any further into the plot here, guys, if you like what we're doing, check us out. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music. We're funny as hell. Check out our shit. Like, subscribe, rate, all that good stuff. We're out there. So real quick, in a nutshell, the plot, Samara Weaving, her name is Grace, is marrying into this family, the Ladomas. Is that right?
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah.
They're a wealthy family. They've made their wealth off board games, and anyone who marries into the family at midnight on the wedding night, they have to play a game. And I mean, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Her game that she picks or like gets
Picked
handed
for
to
her.
her, whatever. Yeah, picked for, there we go. Is hide and seek. And apparently out of all the games you can possibly get during this little, tradition, this is the one game that is like fucked up. You hide and the family you just made into seeks to find you and sacrifice you, and that's it. So she got the short end of the stick, and we can talk about that as we get closer. I just thought this was a cool kind of creative plot. You don't really see this a lot. Like, I'm a big board game guy, so like, my first time watching this, they're like, yeah, at midnight you got to play a game, and I was like, fuck yeah, cool, I'm all for
Yeah,
that,
right.
And then it's like, oh, like you're the target, that would fucking suck. This was just really cool and creative. I super, like Nick said, I super dug the cast. I don't know the guy she's marrying. His name is Mark O'Brien. I've never seen him in anything. Starting out, I do have some questions. I don't know. Do you guys have any questions on this as well? Because I've got a few of them.
Yeah, sure.
For sure. But go ahead.
Let's just dive right into kind of what leads into the tradition, right? Kind of, I guess, would be more some of the backstory. And you guys might have to help me fill in the gaps here. A guy named Ladomus, right? The first one, meets a guy named LaBelle.
LaBelle is the one who they make the deal with.
They end up playing a bunch of board games together or something.
They
and
card,
LaBelle,
right?
Is it just cards?
I think so.
The Ladomas and LaBelle played cards, and then he was like making money doing something else, and then was like, this game of chance shit is kind of neat.
They had that like puzzle box, right, that she puts the card into, and they tell him, if you figure this box out by the time we get wherever we're going, then I'll
invest in whatever you want to be, pursue or whatever. And I guess he cracks it. Ladomus cracks the box and pursues board games, like an empire in board games. I think, right? I think that's kind of...
I think they were already making cards, right? They were already like a playing card company.
Yeah, that's
right. I think he just expanded into board
like
games or like...
sporting goods and sports and board games. Yeah.
So this little box thing is... I feel like I'm butchering the shit out of explaining this this like origin here or whatever. Point is, he cracks it. Mr. LaBelle chooses, he provides him wealth and stuff for the rest of the Ladomas, and his, I guess, one stipulation is every time there's a wedding at midnight, you got to play a game, and it's a pretty run-of-the-mill shtick until you get to hide and seek. Now, I do have some questions. We're going to get them all out of the way. This box thing, like, let's talk about this.
Yeah, I was wondering, is it like one of those little like gags that you can buy where it, you put in the blank card and then it does the swap and spits out was there like other cards in the box, or do you put the one card in and it writes on the card? Or
that's what I thought.
Right.
I thought that's how they explained it, was like it basically stamps that, because they're like the box chooses for you.
When they say the box chooses for you, I didn't know if it was like you shuffled the deck, put the deck of cards in, and then it does like a little swap, like the blank card for like one of the
right.
Yeah. Well, I
didn't know if the box was magic or if it was like a gag that you get from like a magic shop.
I mean, they put one card in, get one card out, right? Like, it's not, they put a blank card in, and he explains that it's a blank card, and it makes it sound so. Whatever, instead of like shuffling the deck, you're probably shuffling the game choices inside, and then whatever it like lands on is what it's going to punch or stamp, I guess, onto the card. Because I did have a question about that too. I was like, how the fuck does it do that? This ancient box, like this fucking pit, like Pinhead, Hellraiser, Pandora's box thing, fucking going on. This thing is choosing who lives and dies. It's crazy.
Yeah. That, and like, what if it gives you a game option and you don't fucking have that game? You know what I mean? Like, for example, I think Charity, who is Adam Brody's wife, says she got chess. All right, cool, chessboard, whatever.
Fitch said he got
who married, I believe,
Old Maid.
And he was like, "What the fuck is Old Maid? I don't know what Old Maid is. I don't even own Old Maid." I would be like You know what I mean? Like there's
It's a card game.
also those are both 2-player games. You know what I mean? So like if it shits out chess, are you playing chess with your spouse? Are you playing chess with a member of the family? Is this like a family chess game? Hide and seek is something everyone gets to do, you know what I mean? Or like tag. You could play tag with multiple people. But like unless you're getting like Sorry, Uno, Trouble, you know what I mean? I don't know,
Scrabble.
Settlers of Catan. Chess is
Yeah.
you're right. Those are just 2-player games. I was confused on how that would work. And I was kind of hoping they dove into it, but they really didn't. They kind of leave you like they give you just enough, but then like pull back all the like nitty gritty details that we're like asking about right now.
Yeah, I did think it'd be interesting to see one of the other games, like how one of the other nights would go.
Right.
One of the reviews on Letterboxd said like at least you didn't have to play Twister with her in-laws, and that got me thinking about the other games that it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's weird.
I mean,
It's weird that the box doesn't make you play a game that is owned by the family, like a game that they made. You know,
They
like
created.
something in
Ooh.
their domain or whatever. Because
right.
also, so every wedding, and I guess there's been a couple because the sister and then Adam Brody and whatever. So that means every wedding, they're all like loosening up, drinks are flowing, and like whatever. And then it like gets to like 10 o'clock at night, and then they all start fucking stress drinking, and they're like, "Fuck me, dude, I can't believe
Yeah.
fuck. We better hope this fucking goes one fucking
I hope
way."
we don't have to kill
They're
this
all just
bitch.
pissed off. They are all in shutdown mode, just like fuck this fucking suck. The only one having fun is the butler, who's like singing Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture or whatever.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So imagine you're going through all this like prep and sweat, and you're like, in 3 minutes I'm gonna draw the card. It's gonna be it. And then, like what you said, it's like, okay, Charity, this is your big deal. Let's pick this card. Remember, babe, and I love you, no matter the outcome.
Right.
So then she's like, would you say chess? Is that what she said she got?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
like, does the rest of the family just like chess? Oh, good.
Oh my god.
I'm going to bed. Actually, that's a 2-player.
Yeah.
Right. I have been, wow. You know what I mean?
Backgammon, thank God.
Yeah. And then Fitch was over there like, old maid. And they were like, again. Woo.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not until they draw that
Right.
card that hasn't been drawn in 30 years. And I realize it's
Right.
only been a couple weddings. It's not like, it doesn't look like they're doing a wedding every year, right? Where like
Yeah.
the probability would be there. Like if you've done it 40 times, you're probably playing at least 3. Yeah, I don't know. And we also don't know how many games are in the rotation.
Right.
We don't know how many games that thing will spit out. But I imagine
See,
like, and Alex is like, so he's like, he was 5 in the beginning. He's like 30 fucking years ago.
Something
I
like
saw
that,
this
yeah.
happen, and I really hope you don't draw that same card, or we're gonna spear gat you, just like the other guy. And it's like that. I keep thinking she's a grandma. I guess she's the aunt because the dad calls her sister, so she's the aunt.
Yep.
she's the
fucking
aunt.
Storm's mohawk from like 80s X-Men or whatever's going on.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
I was like, she's got like a burst fade mohawk thing going. I'm not sure what was going on with that. But she's clearly still pissed about that event 30 years later, where she's just sniding around like fucking little piece of shit. Like she's pissed off the whole
Yeah,
time, and she's not letting anyone like forget. Like, no, we speared the one guy I loved, so we got to do this now. And if
I feel like she's been chomping at the bit, just waiting for someone else to have to go
100%,
through
she's
it.
like,
For real.
what do you mean they didn't get the unlucky card? Like, fuck me. So she's pissed off. Everyone's got a real marriage. Go on. Yeah. Either way, the card drawing process is pretty wild. The box is old but pretty solid since it literally kills a bitch. But like, like they bust her face all up with it. Yeah, I don't know. This is pretty cool. It's certainly like, we get the opening with the aunt's husband to be getting killed or
Right.
whatever. Also, if they're playing the game midnight of the wedding, don't they have to like consummate the marriage first? Shouldn't they be like getting it on and then playing the game?
Yeah.
Or you're not.
This
it's not
leads
like-
to more questions because when you get married, yeah, like you're like getting married, but you got to
Right.
send paperwork for like a name change and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like there's like documents to make this official. And like I know this ain't fucking Game of Thrones, so they don't have to like go consummate to like
Yeah, sure, right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like so I don't want to get to the end, but like I was like, I don't know that she wouldn't like be inheriting the Ladomas wealth because of these stipulations. But that's probably a question the sequel will answer to. Whatever. We don't got to get there.
Yeah. As you guys are talking, I have all these questions keep like bouncing up, and it's like we got to get back to all this. But you mentioned
Right.
something about like the paperwork and stuff. I wondered how official the wedding has to be for this ritual to take place. Like, could he just not file the paperwork and they could just have like a fake ceremony somewhere else, pretend to be married, but not in the eyes of the law? Like, is the hack just don't get married?
Like, well, even if you're together, like 7 years, you're like, it's like civil marriage or, whatever they call that.
Yeah.
Do you, what, I don't know. Like these are questions. And I know with the marriage thing, he was like, it has to be at this place. It has to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna, if they went to Vegas and they were like a drive-through wedding, Elvis impersonator, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, what's to stop them from doing that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Why did it have to be at that? What if she was just like, no, I want to get married in a big fucking white church on a hill? You know what I mean?
One
Like,
of-
I want
one
to
of
go to your
them
fucking
mentions-
family's house that you don't even like.
One of them mentions like we should have just eloped, and I think the other is like, but you wanted to you like Spider-Man meme, like but so some of that they kind of attempt to answer, but some of that it's like if they answer too many questions, then the whole thing collapses. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, sure. For sure.
I took it as like it was a clause in the like pact with the devil that you had to get married there. So like I
Sure.
almost took it as like if you got married somewhere else, then the same thing would happen if they didn't do the ceremony, as if they didn't sacrifice the girl. I took it as like either you get married here or deals off and everybody gets,
Yeah, viewers, I know we're coming at you out the gate with a lot of questions. We really do like this movie. We're just going to hammer out all the kinks right at the beginning here before
Right.
we dive into what we liked and favorites and stuff. So hang tight, viewers. Nick, you look like you were about to ask something. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I had it and I fucking lost it again.
Okay.
I don't know.
I got two
Move on.
questions.
Yeah, push them.
One of the guys, I think the dad says something about, hey, you heard what happened to the Van Horns
Yep.
or whatever, or the Von Trapps. Maybe that's Sound of Music. Van Horns, whatever. And I think Fitch is like, somebody dying in a fire. And he's like, that's just what they want you to think, or like whatever he says.
Mhm.
So we're to him, like immediately I was like, so there's other families that are like doing this satanic
yeah.
ritual thing. And if that's the case, right? Question 1B, did they make the same deal with LaBelle, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Second question, in the movie they say something about their cousins, like the cousin Rachel didn't go through with the thing and like her whole family thing.
Yeah.
If she's a cousin, like how far does the reach go of who
Right.
will
That's a
fucking
good question.
die and like, you know what I mean? So like in my family, if my kids get married and we play this game or whatever and one of them doesn't go through with it, Tyler, you're my cousin. Are you going to fucking blow up? Nick, are you
Right.
going to blow up? Because you're literally my clone. So,
I'm dead.
I don't know. Like,
Nick for
I was-
sure. I don't know if it reaches to me. Well, I guess so because the aunt is there,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, well, that's
So they would
yeah,
have
that's
to be
true.
there too.
Huh.
You would
So,
think,
or is it everyone that has the Ladomas name? Maybe?
because
I don't know.
it doesn't seem like the aunt ever remarried, and if she did, you would think her family would be there too.
That's another question. What if you get remarried?
Maybe this is something that spreads as you have more kids. It just like spreads out and gets like wider. You know what I mean?
That's like part of the curse.
Well,
is like,
do the
yeah,
sisters,
secretly it's just going to keep expanding.
do the sisters' kids blow up in the end? I know it doesn't show it. It's off screen. Are we?
Yeah.
Did you guys think they
Oh,
blew
yeah.
up?
Yeah.
The kids.
Yeah, they were all fucking dead.
Yeah. So okay,
'Cause
we never said that. We got to start saying this up front. We're gonna spoil everything about this whole movie.
For sure.
So if you don't want spoilers, get out
Spoiled
of
a
here.
lot. Hang with us.
Yeah, we've already the milk is spoiled already, but they run off screen. You're talking about the three that run off screen.
Yep.
There's three different explosions right then.
So her
Yep.
kids get it too. Well, the one
Gabe
kid
and
put himself
Georgie,
in it by
whatever.
like shooting the chick. Like he inserts himself. Like, well, that's what everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, this was a question I had. Okay, so it has to take place in the Ladomas estate or whatever you want to call it,
Right.
property.
Sure.
Take
Yeah.
place in the house. Pretty big house, obviously. They kept, knowing that this happens, they kept all their help, right? So the butler and then the three maids or maids, servant, whatever they are, the help,
Servants,
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
help,
sure.
the support, all three gals and the guy. But then, like, wouldn't that be something like the Ladomos would be like, hey, why don't you take the night off? It's about to get crazy up in here, and they're like, it's just a wedding, and he's like, so thus
That's a good point.
all three maids and the butler end up walking into, end up dying, right? So why? And then like the Ladomas are all like, I can't fucking believe that happened. I'm like, what do you mean? You stuck them right in the battlefield. Like, what do you mean that you can't believe it didn't happen?
Yeah.
You didn't even warn
Well,
them. They didn't even know what was going on. And I get keeping them in the dark about the truth, but you couldn't have been like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Here's a rubber band. Why don't you guys go buy yourself something nice for the night and come back? Like,
Get a hotel.
get a hotel.
Don't
They
be
even kept
here.
the kids there. Like, why wouldn't you be like, hey, you guys all need to like stay in the guest house or grandma's or something? It's weird that they even kept all those guys there. The butler looked
I
like
think they
he
were all
enjoyed it.
a little bit in denial of the hide and seek card getting pulled. I think they all were like, come on.
Not
It's
gonna
been 30 years. It's not happening tonight. Not tonight.
We've been sweating the last 2 hours about this, but it won't happen.
Yeah, so yeah, that's another thing too. If the box really just like randomizes it from the first one 30 years ago, I don't know how many weddings they've had up until this one. They've had at least two, right? Adam Brody and then the daughter Emily or whatever her name is. So let's say you got that hide and seek 30 years ago. The next one's Chess or whichever one got for Chess or Old Maid. The second one is Chess or Old Maid, whichever one wasn't the first one, right? So now you're 3 weddings deep. And then it's the same exact shit card. You know what I mean? Like, if it's really a game of chance of getting this card, boy, your chances fucking suck. That happened 3. I don't know how many fucking, maybe Chess, Old Maid, and Hide and Seek are the only 3 games in there, so maybe it's just that turn. I doubt it. But like, you know what I mean? It's been 3 times and you guys got that again. Now 30 years is a long time, but literally just your 3rd wedding in and we're back to that card.
Well, I didn't take it as it was a completely random chance. Like, this is a deal with some kind of demon or devil or whatever. He's going to want some blood, right? So it's going to come up more times than the other games, you would think. Every once in a while, you
You
got to
think
pay
so?
the piper. I think
Is
so.
that how you took that?
I actually think,
Yeah.
I think Tyler's right because there's a few lines and I didn't quite understand them. The aunt Helene or whatever says stuff to Alex like, me and you were the same, different stuff like that. And I wasn't like, because were they marrying because they were actually marrying out of love versus like, I guess Charity just married for wealth or like, you know what I mean? And so
the
I don't know.
Yeah, the way that I understood part
there's-
of that was that Charity and Fitch had no problem like selling their soul to be a part of all that, which is why they're like
Sure.
cool with it. It is weird, but yeah. So when the aunt tells Alex, she's like, "You're like me," and like whatever. Yeah, like I guess Alex was already kind of on the outs with the family because of the shit 30 years ago. So he was going to be hard to like pull in, and then he's got a girl who's also just wants to be a part of this family because her own life sucked or whatever. So I guess there was like maybe a question of like, is she going to be in on this? Can Alex be re-corrupted and brought back in? Like, so I don't know. It is certainly weird. I kind of got like,
It felt like a process of weeding out the bad seeds, you know? Like, not bad seeds as in like a bad person, but like as a bad fit for this like dirty family.
For the family. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, you're right. Fitch and Charity. So I'm assuming they both knew what would happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, should someone draw this
Charity
card,
was
or
told.
and that's a possibility, or whatever.
yeah, Charity was told.
Right. Charity was told. Fitch, I don't know when he was told, but he knows at least going into that night what could possibly happen. Yeah, even if I knew, you know, and let's say Nick gets married, and then all of a sudden we got to kill his bride, I would be like, I'm not 100% cool with this. Like, you know, do I have to participate? Can I just sit in the room? Like, you know, I'll just watch. Really, I'm more of a spectator, not a participator.
That's Adam Brody's whole character, right?
Yeah, see, in his thing, I think because he's the one that got Aunt Helene's husband caught 30 years ago, I think
He
it really
feels
fucked him
guilty.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he drinks all the time.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of like back and forth on like, you know, he like at one point, Samara Weaving is like on a wall and like he walks in and they like lock eyes, you know,
Mhm.
And she's like, "Hey, you don't got to tell." And he's like, "No, I have to, but I'll give you a 10-second head start." And even when he does alert the family, he's just like, "She's in here." Oh,
Yeah.
darn, she got away. I don't know where the fuck she went, whatever. So it's like he's participating because he feels like he has to, but like I think he's like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't want to kill this chick. This chick is nothing like us, as he said. You know what I mean?
I liked his line a lot where he said, "I came outside to escape the madness. Thanks for crashing a car into my tranquility."
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
could
that
tell
was
he's
fun.
just like, I just do not want to. He wants it to happen, but he doesn't want to be the reason it happens.
Yeah, for sure. Understandable. I mean, she seems like the one like decent person in the family. Charity is a total bitch. Fitch is just I like Fitch a lot, but
I
he's
do.
a fucking idiot. You know what I
Which
mean?
is funny.
Sidetrack into something more positive. Your favorite character? Do you guys have one? Because Fitch is pretty awesome. Outside of our main chick, Grace Samara Weaving, you know what I mean? She's super awesome. I think he's kind of stupid, but I think Fitch was great. Adam Brody is amazing in like everything. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
I did like the dad, even though he's not likable per se. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like,
Henry Czerny is awesome in a lot of stuff. He's in The Tudors, like the John Rhys
I didn't know
Myers
that.
Meyer with like Henry.
He's in Scream 6.
He's in Scream 6 with Samara Weaving. He's in he's like I don't know his role exactly, but he's like Ethan Hunt's like contact point in the Mission Impossible series. Yeah, he pops up in some cool shit.
Okay.
He's pretty cool. He might like low key be one of my favorites. The dad is pretty cool, even though you don't like root for him.
Yeah.
For me, it's a 3-way tie between Samara Weaving, Adam Brody, and then I don't know, Fitch's Christian something.
Hoon or something like that. His last name.
Christian
I think
Bruin or something like that.
Hoon.
I think those three are awesome in the movie. Like you don't really root for anyone in the family, but Fitch was cracking me up with like Googling the
How do you use a crossbow
Yeah.
or whatever?
what was it like packs with the devil, real or bullshit, and then
Yeah, that was
him
funny.
and getting to know your crossbow, like all that stuff was funny. Adam Brody, obviously, his character is really cool. Grace, super likable.
Yeah.
I liked her transformation from like this adorable like bride to like crazy screaming covered in blood final girl. Like
Yeah, she really like when that wedding dress that's like torn, she's got the yellow Converse. Like if I saw someone walking around on Halloween wearing that, like I would instantly be like, ready or not. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I could see that being a like final girl kind of costume or something that girls would wear on Halloween. Fuck, I'd almost wear that. I think it was really cool. She looked really good in it. She's got an accent. She's super sexy. You know what I mean? Like she's really likable, like you said. There's really not a member of the family to really hate outside of I think Charity.
the aunt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay, I stand corrected. Yeah, the aunt sucked too. Charity sucked. Maybe that butler guy sucks. You know what I mean? Everyone else it is fairly likable. They're just doing this thing to like protect the family.
You say protect the family. So no one in this movie made the pact, right?
Right. It was made before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ancestry.
Right. So I don't want to say they're victims of circumstance because they've certainly benefited from the deal. But like say this is like our family and it's like either her or our whole family. I mean, you almost can't blame them for carrying this out.
For sure.
If
Yeah.
anything, it's Alex's fault for getting married.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Adam Brody, he got married. What's
Emily.
it, Grace or Emily? Emily, she got married. So like, they're not completely innocent, but it's like they almost are like victims of circumstance in this.
Yeah, outside of the dad and Andy McDowell are the only outside of Helene, but she hasn't, she was a victim or whatever. Those are the only two that have really participated in a hunt, I guess, since or like seen a hunt happen since then. Imagine growing up, and I know Adam Brody and Alex like saw that younger, but imagine everyone else there just gets told like, yeah, man, when this happens, this is pretty crazy. And then when it does, I'd be like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I mean, we're going to hunt that chick when she takes off. Like once that little run, run, run as fast as you can song stops playing, we're going to load up with fucking antique weapons and we're going to hunt her down. I'd be like, I'm out. What if you get
Yeah,
divorced? Like, are you still at mercy for that, or because you're not part of the family, you're safe? I don't know. How's that?
Well, what if you're so Alex? They were like, yeah, we're trying to bring Alex back to us. So was Alex not present at the wedding for his brother or sister? Was Alex gone for that?
Ooh,
He doesn't. I don't ever know that there's any dialogue to be like, well, you weren't here for my wedding, or like. And there doesn't seem like Alex doesn't like, hey, how did you and your bride make out? And he's, she's like, I drew chess or whatever, like. So is Alex gone for all that? Also, so I know Samara talks about a crappy life or a crappy family or whatever, but she doesn't. I don't know that she mentions like they're dead. How do the Ladomases hide what they're doing every like? So if they were if they were successful and they killed Samara Grace,
I get what you're saying.
like what do they what do they send a note to like her family and be like, she drank too much and OD'd, like. And I know they're rich, so maybe it's easy to explain. Like they just make money talk to cover up whatever they need to, which is probably the answer. But like, how do you, like, my parents would be like,
I
get
get
what you're
what
saying.
the answer.
like mom and dad would certainly be like, like text me or something and be like, how was that wedding at that rich girl's house of yours or whatever? You know what I mean? If I don't answer or like don't, like, they're gonna know where it's at. I'm not gonna be like, am I getting married in secret,
Yeah.
Mom? I'll tell you when it's done. Also, they were like drinking all day and they still somehow managed to stay up all night. Dude, I'd have been passed out at 8:00.
You know you're old when you're watching the movie and when they were like, we got to do this at midnight. My immediate thought was, God damn, that's fucking late.
You'd have to give me some like drugs or something to like make it that far. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to
Like Ritalin
do
or
some of
something?
Emily's cocaine and pump myself up.
For
So,
real.
Nick, to answer your question, Grace does say that she was in the foster system.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh,
now
Okay.
I'm not saying like Charity and Fitch like we're also fosters, and so
Sure.
like, hey, marry someone who doesn't have relatives and like they're really not
Yeah.
fucking cared about by society. That way
to kill
we don't have to send.
Yeah.
Exactly, right. So maybe, but but to answer that, in the second one, the fucking main chick in the second one is playing her sister.
yeah.
Oh.
Samara Weaving doesn't say anything about having a sister in the foster system with her, but she apparently has a sister in the second one. So
Well, maybe it's
my whole
foster
plan of-
sister. That could happen.
sure.
It is weird they
Yeah,
don't mention anything like that when she's like, I need a family, and then is like, oh, but I have one.
Yeah.
Or have
Surprise.
some. Yeah.
well, even on that question of what would happen if she died and whatever, look at how the movie ended. Now let's look at just Fitch and Charity. We're to assume they have other relatives, right?
Right. You wouldn't have to explain anything because like they didn't expect for the ritual to go wrong, right? Like who has
Right.
to explain to, like, you know what I mean? Like it's the cops or like Grace that has to explain. It's not the family that has to explain their death away.
Right. No, you're right. But even in her situation, like I said, how do you even talk your way out of that? Like the very last scene of the movie, you know what I mean? Like think about that. I don't want to spoil it here on the podcast, but like how the fuck would you even explain your way out of that? What could you possibly fucking say?
While
I don't know. Like,
I think you're right.
That's a question the second one's gonna
The reality is you're right. Like if something like if you're sitting there smoking a cig and there's a burning mansion behind you and you're covered in blood, the nice cop that approaches her and is just like, are you okay? He's probably gonna have his gun out and be like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Police state America or whatever. But no, it certainly would like, hey, so like you're alive, mansion's on fire, you're smoking. Did you start it? What's all this blood? Why is that hole in your hand? Weren't there other people here? Like, yeah, where did everybody go?
I was wondering, does the fire help or hurt her case? You know, could you say like the bodies got burned up?
Yeah.
Because she's gonna have to decide: do you tell the truth about what happened, which nobody's gonna believe, or do you make up something that? How do you get out of that?
It looks like they blow up.
I mean,
pretty
think about it.
completely too. Like it's not like Mortal Kombat where like
I didn't see any bones or
skeletons
anything.
hit the wall, like bones
Yeah.
fly out. I mean, it's bits of like flesh and muscle. It's like so I guess it would all burn, but do bones burn in house fire? I don't know, man. Like
did you see Abigail, their
Oh, no,
vampire
I've
movie,
not
the
seen
Radio
that.
Silence?
Not yet.
It's awesome.
Tyler,
I
Tyler,
highly
you saw
suggest it. It's awesome.
in vampire, and I know I'm kind of sidetracking here, but I'm going to circle back to kind of where we're talking about here. In vampire lore, when the sunlight hits, they're like, suck, yeah, fuck, and then they get whatever body part is in the sun out of the sunlight. In one movie, in Abigail, when the sun hits them, dude, they fucking explode. Like
Yeah.
at one point, the main little girl, like her hand gets like sunlight hits her hand and it fucking blows off.
Uh-huh.
This radio silence guys have just like an affinity for just bodies just like imploding.
Exploding.
Yeah, and just covering their characters and just because like she stood there straight faced while like that body got on her,
Dude.
that body got on her, that her husband's body got on her. Yeah. After he tried to like, oh baby, please will you take me back? I'm sorry. Look, I'm alive and like I got spared. Oh, just kidding. Blood pie all over you. Like these guys just have an affinity for that, and I think it's really cool. I think like the ending. If you weren't a fan of this, when you get to that ending, how can you not be like, oh fuck, this was super rad, dude? Everyone is fucking getting it, and it's awesome.
This is a movie where I think the ending is crucial in deciding if this is a good movie or not. I feel like they backed themselves into such a corner that it's like you either end it with she lives and turns out it's all fake and it was never like the stakes weren't real to begin with, or it absolutely was real and we get to see the results of not carrying. I mean, you could make it to where they fulfill the ritual and then it kind of leave it ambiguous. But I feel like it was very important for them to stick the landing on the ending, or it would make the rest of the movie kind of, yeah, you know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah,
So you guys,
I agree.
You guys both like the everybody blowing up bit.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
loved it.
that was cool. Did you not?
No, I do, but it's hard not to compare it to like, is it the end of Kingsman, where all their heads just start like nuking around the fucking
Mhm.
table and like everybody who didn't have the thing in or something. Remember?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because like they,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen Kingsman in a long time, so somebody in the comments is going to be like, "You're a fucking idiot," but this is where they can help me instead of being an asshole. But yeah, basically the ending. You know what I mean? Like, because I know we're going to get diced up here in the comments.
Sure.
Somebody's going to be like, "Fucking idiots." But so the ending was cool. I remember when I'm watching this last night, I was like, how does this end? I'm trying to remember how this ends. I can't remember what the fuck.
I couldn't remember
And
either.
then I remember thinking about the ending of Kingsman, and I was like, is this where everybody gets their like head blown off or whatever? And then I was like, I don't think it's that, but it's got to be close. And then obviously it's close. So I don't know. I do like it, and it is cool, and I like it's. I think it's better because of how everybody's nuked with guts and stuff.
Yeah.
And like so there's some subtlety there.
They don't just like
in the chaos that
they don't
kinda
just
cool.
drop down dead.
Yeah.
They just
I like that it was a bit of a
awesome.
stall. There was a stall for enough for them to all be like, so we're good, or like,
oh, dude.
Yeah. So
I think it's Fitch. The sun comes up and they're all like, "Oh my god!" And then they're like, "What?" And then I think it's Fitch is literally like, I fucking told you it was bullshit. I fucking knew it. Whatever. And then I think Helen is the first one to blow up, and then
Oh yeah,
Charity,
because
you're like, whatever the fuck.
she charges Grace. She's like, the
That's
girl
right.
still dies.
So like, let's say nothing happened. Like, can you imagine? Like, even the dad is like, and you can tell they're all thinking the same thing. What the fuck? Like, do we pursue? Because now she's like,
She's
there's
a witness
bodies in
now.
the mansion. She's fucked up. She probably hates us. Like, what do we do? Like, I think that would have been, if you were going for a horror comedy and you really wanted to stick a comedy landing, that would have been the way to go. Just leave it at like this awkward, like, fuck, what do we do? I also read that they originally had her dying
Getting
and being sacrificed and shit. And I don't know if it was just they had it in the script or maybe they filmed it and then had a reshoot or something. But like,
That's the worst
I'm all
of the
for
three
not
endings
happy.
to me.
Do what now? Sorry.
I said that's the worst of the three endings to me that it could possibly be.
Like, so like I don't mind not happy endings. Like Hollywood gives us so many happy endings. I kind of like when they don't. But like, I could see you getting to the end of the movie, cheering on this chick, and then being like that happening, and you being like, oh fuck, like I could see disappointment in that. Maybe you're right on that. Maybe that is the worst case there.
It's just the least interesting ending, I think. It's
Sure.
not whether it's like a happy ending or a sad ending. It's just not that interesting. I think the way they did it was extremely clever. Like you kind of get both of the other two endings, right? You get the moment like we were talking about where everyone's
Yeah,
like
that's true.
powering. So it's like you get to see kind of what it would be like if the ritual was fake, right? And then oh shit, it's real. So you kind of get both endings, and I thought that was really smart. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was fun. It really made me at the end come away going, "Oh yeah, that fucking ruled." I really liked her line of like, "I want a divorce," and throws the ring at him before he explodes.
I usually
I
Yeah.
thought that was fucking awesome.
She stuck it to him for sure.
Alex. So, and this is kind of a blanket case for Alex here. We'll probably dive into this a little bit, but hopefully. So if you're Alex, this is your family and this is everything that's going on. It's your big day. Let's start with: would you have told her? Would you have let her know beforehand, or do you do what Alex says? Keep her in the dark. Pray for the best. What first to start? What would you tell your girl?
Yeah, I think I'd have to let her know. If I was going to pursue the marriage thing, which I'm still like, why could you not just not get married? But if I was, I'd have to be like, hey, tiny little hitch in our giddy up here. Don't freak out. There is a
Don't freak
small chance, that this could go sideways. And when I say sideways, I mean you're fucked. I think I would have told, man. If I really loved this chick, I would have told her. I would have prepped her.
At
for
least then, if she decided she was like, hell no, and she ran, you'd be like, I loved her, so I let her go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I'm.
I didn't.
I think I'm with you. I think I probably would have been like, we need to talk before we,
for sure.
Yeah, I think the answer is just don't get married. I think you explained to
sure.
her what the chances are, and I didn't really like his explanation of like, well, you would have left. You wouldn't have been with me had I told you this. It's like you absolutely tell her, and then I guess if she's really like gung ho on doing it, then you go ahead and do it. But it's like,
Yeah.
she's probably not going to believe you. You're going to have to like work really hard to be like, look, my family's going to potentially try to sacrifice you. We
Yeah.
could just be together and be happy. I'll put everything in your name so you don't think I'm just trying to like swindle you
Sure.
and like leave you.
Yeah.
Like we could work this out where I'm committed to you, but I don't have to potentially hunt you down and kill you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Fair enough.
If I was going to go that route, I wouldn't even tell my parents I'm seeing someone. That way they don't push you into like, well, the family thing. You got to bring her here and get married right now. I just wouldn't fucking tell them. I'd be like, I'm just I'm a fucking hermit and I don't like anyone. So
I literally
no lady in my life.
I
or dude.
literally looked into Buddhism and I'm a monk now. So we can't even.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you. Yeah. I became a monk.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
started shaving my head
Weird.
today, actually, believe it or not. In my opinion, they get through the card drawing in the initial, like, you're gonna go hide and seek and all this stuff, and she's like, yeah, okay. And then you know how Alex, like, they get up before they leave the room, and Alex is like, I need you to meet me in the room. We need to do this. And she's like, oh, it's not even like a big deal. And he's like, no, I need you to do it. And it's like this super like hustle, quick, like, no, I need you to shut the fuck up. I need you to meet me. And she's like, oh, whatever. I'm gonna go play the game. And then they start playing. She finds out that it's deadly, and then he gets her. At one point, Alex gets her in the servant corridors, right? And she's like crying and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I know bad look, but hang with me. I'm going to water down a lot of what's going on, but also try to give you in my opinion, in that scene, even up in that scene, it feels like he's still got her, in my opinion. Like he's like, this is the plan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
you
get
go
what you're
down.
saying. I get what you're saying. I see where you're going.
Yeah. So he's like, I need you to go down here, kitchen, that I won't tell you what way it's on or whatever. Whatever. And to me, it looks like she's still on board and she's like, okay, we're going to get the fuck out of here. At what point do you think Alex loses grace in the chaos? What point do you think shifted that?
Part of me wants to say when he walks in right after she kills the mom, because then that's when Alex
it
is
feels
like,
like that's it.
like I think he puts hands on her, arm behind the back, and he's like, she's in here, motherfuckers, I got her, yeah, whatever. Could you argue? I'm trying to think of maybe kind of what happens before then. I think before then, the mom, when you mentioned earlier, the mom has a talk with Alex about something family and we stick together and like whatever the fuck. and it kind of, I think he's chained to the bed at this point or something, right? And it kind of looks like, at least in his eyes, that he's like really mulling it over, like, oh man, maybe my mom is on to something, like family first, what? There's a fucking million fish in the sea, whatever. Tyler, what about you, man? You look like you might
No,
be able to contribute here.
I
That's
don't
a good
really
question,
know.
dude.
That is a good question. I think maybe he just sees in her eyes like all the shit that she's been through over the night. Like maybe at the beginning it's still like she's a little not believing it's real, and there's a little bit of like we could still get out of this, but like over time she's seen so much, her family's put her through so much, she's been like she's got a nail through the hand, she'd been shot at that point. It just, I guess at that point, it's just not worth it to her. I kind of felt like he was almost 1 foot out the whole time. Like he was like, "Oh, we could get out of this," but at the same time, he's like, "God, I hope my family hurries up and fucking kills her so we can." I don't think he was fully convinced that it was fake the whole time.
Yeah,
that bed didn't look that strong. He could have turned around, put his foot against the bedpost. I think he could have got out a lot easier.
I'll agree with you there, and I'm not like. I'm not a craftsman, so I couldn't tell you like, well, that bed is made of fucking pure oak. There is no way, But like, I also kind of thought like, could you not have gotten out of that like sooner, or I don't know, like, was there not like a weaker spot in the bed?
I think we all.
You might be
it
right
felt
on
like
that
we all
point.
three ran that simulation in our head. Like, I could get out of that because I
could have
too
got
the
off
whole
that bed,
time
for
was
sure.
like part of me was like, I'm about to go handcuff myself right now and see if I could break that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to test this out.
I think we all had that same thought of like, put a little effort into it, guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let my wife handcuff me to the bed tonight, and I'm gonna let you guys know how long it took me to get out of
I'm
there.
literally
okay?
gonna go pitch it to Shelby as soon as we get off the podcast tonight. Can we talk about Samara Weaving selling the absolute shit out of her hand wound? Dude, when she spikes her hand
we
on that
can.
fucking nail, which was CG, but obviously, but when she spikes her fucking hand on that, I think I was in my own seat, like, good God, like, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. She sells it, dude.
That's the same hand she got the hole blown
That's what I'm
through,
saying, 'cause she
right?
got the hole in it, and she's cradling it. Good hand pulling herself up.
Does it not
She slipped.
just go through the hole?
Well, it does, but I mean, it's a
Well,
fresh
I mean, it's
wound.
still gonna.
Plus, it's probably a rusty nail.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's a little
Oh, for
nail
sure.
hole
Yeah.
versus like a bullet. I
Yeah.
mean,
Plus, it was a panic, like a reactive move
Yeah.
when she had to grab on with the other hand. She
True.
certainly tried to avoid it, and then I guess probably didn't see the nail. The one nail, by the way.
Dude, she just fucking just
Dude.
poof.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh man,
Mm. I
felt it.
I was like tapping out.
My hand is like numb now.
Dude.
yeah, she was so good at selling that stuff, and her scream was just like guttural, dude.
Dude.
Her like at the end when she finally gets off the table, and she's like, I was like, that was pretty convincing.
Yeah, she does. Like I was gonna say, Nick talks about in a few episodes about people not reacting how they should. She absolutely fucking like that is. She probably took that better than I would. So
Yeah.
I would be the little bitch like cradling my hand in that pit of the goat pit or whatever, and just like cowering and crying and not even trying to climb
Even
the
when
ladder
she-
like a little bitch. She was tougher than I am.
She decks that kid that shoots her, and she's like, "You little fucker!" Like I'd have probably shot the kid if I'm being
She's like-
honest. But
she goes on like a rant, like motherfucker, tiny dick, fucker,
Right.
fucking,
Yeah.
like
just
Yeah.
lift them up over your head and throw them in the goat pit.
that would have been awesome. That would have been dope as shit.
I would have suplexed his ass right in there for sure.
Let's talk about the one death that really pissed me off. Adam Brody, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
so we've said the whole night. You can tell we think he's maybe how you phrase it with Alex, kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, I'm doing this. I don't really want to. I like this chick. So the family's doing like a final like drink before they do their say their little Satan whatever the fuck. And so turns out they all start throwing up or something, right? Because he spiked it with, I think, hydrochloric
That's
acid
crazy.
and
Yep.
like a non-lethal dose, apparently, right? Smart move, cool. He takes her and he's like, "We're gonna get the fuck out of here." Dude, his own wife is like,
Yeah.
move or I'm gonna, whatever. And then she fucking shoots him in the neck and he like bleeds to death. First time I saw this, I was so pissed. I was like you already don't like this chick, the charity chick, right?
Mhm.
And then for her to be the one to kill Adam Brody, I mean, if he lived and then the ending played out as it did, he'd have died either way, right? So, but like the way he went out, I was like, man, he did not deserve that. He was the best guy in this movie. You know what I mean?
Well, his wife says earlier that she'd rather die than go back and lose all the stuff that she gained
Yeah.
from being part of the family. And
For sure.
he has a line earlier in the movie where you could tell that, I don't know, maybe him and her aren't really super connected, like him and his wife, where he
Yeah,
says,
I agree.
"I'm just trying to find out if you're a gold digging whore like my wife or whatever." So it makes
Yeah.
sense that she shoots him. You know, she seems like she's more with the family than he is.
It makes sense for her character. It just pissed me off.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
definitely.
you know what I mean? It'd be different if like Fitch was the one that shot Adam Brody or something, but like, man, your own wife? Damn, that sucks. His death pissed me off. He didn't deserve it. I kind of put Adam Brody in the same category as I put Matthew Lillard. National treasure and needs to be protected at all cost. You
And
know,
underutilized.
very underutilized, man. Yeah, Adam Brody's great. The Ladomas have a board game or like game empire or whatever. Do you guys have a favorite board game?
Are we counting card
Or
games?
favorite recreational game? I guess it doesn't feel like a board game per se.
Right.
You know,
So we actually have like game nights a lot. Me, my wife, usually like my sister, sometimes like Justin and his family. The game we
Sure.
play almost every time we get together with anyone is called Monopoly Deal. It's like a card game version of Monopoly, except it doesn't take all fucking night. It's super fun, super quick.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like we have like literally like 3 or 4 Monopoly Deal decks because we just like shuffle them into oblivion.
Super deck.
Yeah. No, I'm
That's
saying
cool.
we use them so much that they're like bent and like,
Oh,
fucked up.
I meant like you combined 4 decks into like a super. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Good question. I don't think I play. My kids are too young to really play them now. You know what I mean? Like it just becomes
Sure.
pieces that go in their mouth or thrown or lost or something. You know what I mean? So I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Growing up, I thought Life was cool. I liked Life a lot.
Life's cool.
You know what I mean? Like simple premise. There's not a lot of like competitive streak to it. It doesn't make you hate your friends when you're done playing it, like Monopoly and real Monopoly. I don't know about Monopoly Deal.
Mhm, right.
Battleship was cool. I always thought Battleship was neat. Again,
Yeah.
super simple.
Sure.
May break a friendship or two, but pretty simple. Uno. Uno's another one. When we lived in Springfield, we played a
Uno's
lot of
cool.
Uno. Also been known
Yeah.
to destroy friendships. So
Uno is one we play a lot at our house. It is one everyone gets the most worked up about. You
Yep.
know, someone gets like the first time someone has to draw 4, they immediately think it's like a personal blow,
Right.
and they're just fucking pissed off. And like,
Yep.
you know, like just fucking throw the cards off the table and it's like game over. I really like Jenga. Jenga's always been one of my favorites in a board game, whatever. Life, you said, is always great. Nick, I think me and you played quite a bit of chess growing up. Like we had
I
like a
love
Harry
chess.
Potter wizard chess set. Me and you played a lot
fair
of.
enough.
I thought that was really cool. I don't really dive into like a lot of the like lesser known or kind of like B tier board games. Unfortunately, board games are something I wish I played more of. But I got kids ranging from 7 to almost 17. Hard to find a game where everyone can play and it be fair and it be
Right.
equal and shit like
That's
that.
true.
Whatever.
This movie being mainly about hide and seek made me think a lot about when we were kids and we used to play hide and seek.
Yes.
I tell the story all the time. I think about when we would like
I
I
can't
already
believe
know
I
where you're
forgot
going.
this. Yeah. I can't believe I
Yep.
forgot
we would orchestrate it to where my sister would be it. Like we would take a couple turns to make it seem like we were playing fair, and then it was like, all right, Bailey's it. Here we go.
Yeah, right.
And we would sneak into your like room with the hot tub, and we would all change into our like swim trunks, and then like put the shoes up under the hot tub cover. And then she
Yeah.
would look forever, couldn't find us. And then this is what I thought was so smart. We would get out, completely dry off, change back into our normal clothes, and then go hide somewhere else so she never knew our secret
That's
spot
right.
until your little brother gave it away. But
I forgot about that part. But yeah,
Well, I
you're
remember
right.
we
Yeah.
stuffed Matt, our little brother, like up in the top of this. I guess maybe it's like a wardrobe, technically, like whatever the term.
Yeah.
Like we would stuff his ass on
Yeah,
the top
yeah.
and just put coats up because he was so young or whatever, so little. And dude, yeah, this was foolproof. I can't believe I forgot about this, man. Yeah. Also,
dude, I think about this all the time.
I was thinking about how you play hide and seek like that. If I'm my like kind of competitive edge, if I'm marrying into, if this is like my wedding night and, my girl's like, yeah, we got to play hide and seek. And is this, whether I know all the rules or not, I'm like, dude, we're playing hide and seek in this big fucking house. Hell yeah. Like my competitive edge.
Oh
You know what I'm not
Hell
doing
yeah.
first? Hiding in the fucking dumbwaiter. You know what I mean? Because that's a fucking dumb idea. Like I'm going to the, because I'm going to the furthest corner of the fucking house and I'm actually like hiding. Like I'm
Yeah.
hiding. And I know it's
Okay.
my wedding night and there's
Yeah,
some
you got to prove to this family
100% I belong.
you're not finding me.
I cut my
Hide till
teeth on
dawn.
this shit.
Challenge
Yeah,
accepted.
I cut my teeth on this shit. I am playing hide and seek game. No rules. You know what I mean?
You think you're finding me?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That's a
You're
good
not
point.
finding.
this is a fucking
You're not finding
dumbwaiter?
me
Come
until
on.
next week.
I I will agree on the dumbwaiter part only so much. I think starting out, like she goes and gets in at first, I was like, that's not a bad idea. Like that's creative, you know what I mean? But like once you find out this game is like literally out for blood, the dumbwaiter becomes a bad idea. And at no point do they ever use it. Like you never see her get in it and like, oh no, I just saw the dad down the hall. I better fucking like go up to the next level. Like
It doesn't.
or like whatever.
Well, I think it's like an automated one with like buttons.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. My
'Cause
bad.
it
Oh,
does-
'cause that
'cause
bitch
we-
gets
but-
that one chick
yeah.
gets killed. Yeah, my
It's
bad.
true
You're right.
though. When she gets in initially, it's hard not to think of all the other horror tropes that play with a dumbwaiter. You can talk about Halloween H2O. Is a good one. It seems like you're gonna go that route eventually, where like this dumbwaiter is gonna play a part or something, and you're gonna have the like, oh no, and I know it's automated, but like, oh, pressing the button, like trying to, and it doesn't ever do that. In fact, the only time we circle back to the dumbwaiter is when she runs into the third maid chick.
Third maid. Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, they're not looking for me. They're looking, they're not looking for you. They're looking for me. So how about we swap? And she's like, they're looking for you. She's right fucking here. Which
Yeah.
which also would have caught her a swift elbow, by the way, before she gets killed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Should Samara Weaving have changed out of the dress? Should that have been the first thing you did? I feel like, and I
Well-
know at that point you don't know the stakes entirely. You know what I mean? Like you're not. She doesn't go initially hiding because she's like, we're gonna kill you. Like she's just like, well, how long? And Ernie's like, well, how about till dawn? And she's like, like she's confused and like they don't know if they had a moment or not. But if I'm Samara Weaving at some point, even if I find out the truth of the game, I'm
Yeah.
probably changing out of the dress. One, darker colors, like to hide,
Right.
like in the night or whatever, and not have the brightest like reflective lacy material out there on in a big old like puffy. You know what I mean? Like I was like, man, I would have changed that shit.
I think before she finds out that they're trying to kill her, I think she kind of wants to be found rather quickly so she doesn't have to play this game all night.
Yeah, right. Like
what-
not knowing the stakes for sure. She's like, if I get it over with, whatever. But
Did you guys think it was kind of unfair that they didn't tell her like the full rules of the game? Like it should almost be against the ritual to not let the hunted know that what the stakes are.
unless it's
Because it's
I
like
guess I didn't think.
yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I guess it's an edge in their favor.
because when he says you could hide till dawn, she's like, no, thank you. And it's like, how hard, like how, it doesn't seem like it should satisfy the ritual if it's not a real hunt.
The question you're asking, even like, so they start playing the game like all the like, I don't know, the power is out, but like it's like dim throughout the whole mansion, and the cameras are off, right? Because they're like, we're gonna play just like fucking great granddad Ladomus did it back in the day. You know what I mean? And then eventually they turn them on. Like, at what point are the odds stacking too much in your favor that she doesn't have a chance? Because isn't the whole point maybe is that to have a chance? You know what I mean? Like it's not stay there and we find you and kill you. It's hide and seek, which means that you have the chance to win. They really need to not let that happen. Well, even when she's, like the one you just said, when the dad's like, just fucking wait till dawn, and she's like, I don't think so, or whatever.
No,
Like
thank
at
you.
no point is the dad like, yeah, no, I was just kidding. He's just like gives her that like look, just like, no, we're serious. Yeah, like this. I'd be like, what time does the sun come up? What does the almanac say? 7:15. Okay, 7. I don't know.
You do bring up a good point. So if if the goal is survive till dawn, I'd probably have a summer wedding. Dawn's coming early. All I got to do is survive like 5 hours. If you have a winter wedding,
Yeah, are we taking?
you're going like
Yeah.
fucking 7.5 hours till dawn. Like, I don't know what time sunrise is, like
True.
7:30 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's dark forever. You're
Right.
super fucked. You better be the number one ranked hide and seek player in the fucking nation. Like, but summer wedding, only got to survive a couple hours. Hell, you may even take a nap.
You know, if she found, like, if she did what you said, you know, they're like, all right, the game commences now. If she really went somewhere and found a super awesome hiding spot with the cameras off, even when they flipped them on, like, they still wouldn't know where she's at. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know. This is stuff that we think about, but one of those we talk about when it's happening, you know, would we have done half this shit? I don't fucking know, man. I mean, at one point she gets outside the house, and I don't know how the fuck you don't get away. Literally
Yeah.
just start running back the fucking way you came in, or like, how you
Once
got
she gets
caught by the butler is
Yeah.
is beyond me. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna second the gripe about pretty much all the outside activity, because it's like, how the fuck did you get caught? Also, she's hiding. She's literally hiding behind a tree, and the guy still knows to like stop the car, and he's like, I know you're out here. No, what the fuck? The fact that you're even getting fucking seen is pretty dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a million trees out there. You just ran all this way. You know what I mean? Like, and to think you get found right off the bat, it's silly. Also, and I thought about this when I was watching it, and I had to look something up because I was like, what is this? She steals the car from the butler. She's gunning it down the road. The OnStar with a travel assistant or whatever, which is
Right.
which is voiced by one of the directors, by the way. You know, she's like, hey, I need help, call the police. And he's like, the car's stolen, we got to shut it off. And she's like, no, this sucks. And he's like, sorry. And she's like, Justin, fuck yourself. And he's like, will do, noted. So he shuts off the car, and he's like, authorities are on the way. But then, like, the butler catches her, knocks her out, whatever. Then he drives off. I think the butler would still have to go through the authorities and
Oh, that's a good
the
point.
OnStar, whatever, like the travel assistant. Like, you'd still have to checkmate like both
To
of
get the
those
car back
avenues
on?
to get the car back working. It's not like you can be like, well, I'm the owner now. No, if authorities are on the way, they're not going to be like, oh, sounds like it's good, back to the donut shop. No, they're going to be like, no, we got to go
Right.
investigate this.
Well,
There's some paperwork.
that's
here.
why the cops did show up at the end, right?
For sure. Also, took their sweet ass time, but it is one of
For real.
the actual like getting the car back working and stuff. I don't think that's doable
Yeah.
if it's been reported stolen, and then there's like a,
That's a good
you know what I
point.
mean, like it's in process of like stolen, not went. You know, we got to find the guy, the perpetrator. You know, like what you know. Oh, also, I read something that said Samara Weaving had to be taught how to drive, or at least taught to look like she knows how to drive.
Yeah.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
I read that too.
Could she,
That's crazy.
what? Does she not? Do we know what that's about?
There's definitely people that grow up where public transport is like a thing. We live in the middle of America where public transport fucking sucks. Okay, like you go to New York City, Chicago, any of the coasts, seems fine. Every other country on the planet seems to have better public transportation than we do.
That's true.
The need to know how to drive isn't always there. Secondly, it seems like a lot of celebrities don't fucking know how to do this. I've read more than one movie trivia where so and so had to be taught how to drive, or like this one said, look like they know how to drive. Right?
That's wild.
It seems like it's pretty common. I don't know why. I can't relate to it. It's like, to me, learning to drive is like a fucking rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get through life without knowing? What if you're fucking, what if she was in that situation and she didn't know how to drive? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it didn't matter if the car would stop for you or not. You can't fucking use it. So I don't know.
At her age, she's probably seen enough people drive to know that you just turn the key.
I pull the stick. One of these things goes and one stops. I don't know.
Yeah, hit one of the pedals. If the car doesn't start moving, you hit the other
Yeah,
one.
that's right.
At the very end of this movie, I think it's after everyone has, right? She sees Mr. LaBelle.
Oh.
It's Mr. LaBelle, right?
In
like
the chair.
his fucking spirit or whatever, sitting in the
Yep.
chair, and he kind of like shows up and gives her like a, yeah, what's up, like nod, and then like disappears. What do you guys think about that? Because Tyler, me and you talked on some episode in the past about the movies being realistic, and then there's like a hint or something at some point where it dives into something a little unrealistic or
Supernatural.
supernatural, and we kind of had mixed feelings about it. I couldn't tell you what movie it was that we were talking about this on. This is one of those movies. I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of a cool touch.
I understand
Go
what
on.
you're saying. I think this is a supernatural movie. I think it was supernatural the whole time because of the pact with the
Ooh.
devil. It's not confirmed supernatural till the end, but the whole movie they're like, there's this pact with the devil. If we don't satisfy it, we die. So I get what you're saying. I don't think this satisfies that criteria though.
See, I don't consider this supernatural movie.
It's okay. It's
Like,
not
if
a
you were to-
supernatural movie, but the supernatural aspect of the universe exists throughout the whole movie.
Sure. There's a little bit of like magic and mystery and like, whoa, supernatural is kind of a bigger term. Nick, what about you? What do you think? What are your thoughts on seeing the ghost of Mr. LaBelle?
I don't think it matters too much because you see it after everybody just blows up. If you had seen,
Right.
like if they had, if the sun had come up and then they're all in their moment of like, wide eyed, like what the fuck, and we saw his, ghost. Is that what we're gonna call it? Ghost?
Yeah.
Apparition. I don't know.
Apparition. That's probably better. If we had seen his apparition first, if everyone's like, oh shit, and then like apparition, and then they all see it and they're all like, what? And then they all start combusting, I think that would have been cooler. But by the time we've seen the apparition,
Okay.
we've already seen them blow up. And so it doesn't, for me, it was just like, well, this is already some kind of irregular natural, whether it's supernatural or, whatever the term is we want to give it. I think maybe it would have been cooler to the whole family see him and be like,
See him beforehand.
and then everybody, right. And then everybody get nude.
That would be kind of cool, especially like once they realize like you lost, like his ghost ass shows
Right.
up, kind of gives them the all like, yeah, you're all fucked now. Look, you know what I mean? And then boom, 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 boom. Right.
One thing
okay.
before we dive into ratings real quick. We talked about
I had one more thing too.
okay,
Sorry.
that's cool. We'll make it a round tree then. Before
Yeah, that's fine.
the directors we talked about earlier, when I mentioned their upcoming slate for the viewers that aren't up to speed, I'm just looking on IMDb here so everybody can go look at this stuff. They've got like 7 or 8 things listed here, so and I'll just kind of go over it. Some of these we're going to know and some of them will be probably original or whatever too. The first one, Untitled Escape from New York sequel. Now, we're about to cover Escape from New York on the podcast on the Carpenter Hour sometime,
Ooh.
right? This could be really, really cool. And
Yeah, it's coming up.
I'd be excited to see where this goes. There's something else
Okay.
from them called The Robots Go Crazy. This is all directing stuff too. The Robots Go Crazy in development. Okay. Something called The Ice Beneath Her in development, whatever. Something called The Butcher and the Wren, like WREN, Wren, in development.
Oh, that's a
Do you know what that is?
That's a book. I'm aware of that.
Okay.
That's a book.
That's-
It's based on a book.
That's 4 projects in development. And there's another one, a couple others. Then they're attached to something called Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter, which is interesting since he was yeah, I mean, this sounds like a spoofy something, so I don't know. Something called Reunion that's also in development. I don't know what that is. Then the last thing, and this may be the biggest piece, the Mummy 4.
Yeah, I already know this one. It's awesome.
The Mummy 4.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
coming back.
I didn't know that they were doing Mummy 4.
Yeah, I had forgotten until I saw this untitled Mummy project 2028. It's the Mummy 4, and they're bringing back most of the OG, like we'll call it legacy, whatever, like most of those
Yeah.
guys. This is really cool, man. There's a couple of like really exciting projects from there. These guys have a pretty fucking flawless track record of their directorial stuff. I am super pumped to see where these guys go.
They did
100%.
they did one of, if not my favorite, like little segment on VHS.
Yeah, that's right.
The
Oh, did they do the last segment of the first movie?
the Halloween party.
131, 98.
Yeah.
Dude.
When I saw that, I was like, oh fuck yeah! And then Abigail rules. This movie's great. The Scream sequels are awesome. Yeah, these guys are great. My last thing, did you guys notice the games on the shelf in the beginning?
I was trying to read them
Like
all.
I guess we're led to believe those are their games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's why I took it as.
Family Ritual, Sequel Count or Secret Council, LaBelle's Gambit, Sunrise, and Abracadabra. If you read those in order, it basically tells you like the plot of the movie. So
Read 'em
like
again?
Family Ritual, the Family Ritual, So we got the marriage, the wedding, secret
Okay.
council. They all come together and, we get explained the games and stuff. LaBelle's Gambit, Sunrise.
Yeah, the game, Sunrise, yeah.
Then Sunrise is like, the end, and then Abracadabra.
I read they
That's pretty
submitted
awesome.
over 200 board game names or like game names to to be considered, and only like 8 of them got approved by I think it said the legal department, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You should be able to make up your own.
What does that even mean?
What do you mean the legal department's like, we don't like those names? And you're telling me that out of 200, 192 of them, they were like, you can't.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know.
That's
Maybe they were too similar to real.
I would understood if
game
you had
names.
called it like LaBelle's Monopoly, or like
Right.
Mhm.
LaBelle's Sorry. Like if you're,
Yeah.
but if you're just making up board games, then you have to. There's a department that's got to be like approved or denied. Like that's crazy to me.
They got like knockoff names. Like there's one called like Apologies. There's one called like
Condolences.
like slides and step stools or something. Like
Eels
instead
and
of Chutes and
escalators,
Ladders.
Cyclone instead of
SpongeBob.
Twister. Like,
instead of
Yeah.
Candyland's like Sugar World or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there you go.
we cracked it.
that-
We cracked it. That's why they were.
That is
denied,
pretty
too.
crazy.
Got it.
So I know viewers and listeners, we did fucking just ask every question you could ask about this movie, and despite that, this is a fun ride. This is a really fun ride. I really like this movie. The cast is great. I maintain that the plot and like story is very creative, very unique, something different. You don't like there's not another one of these out there that I'm aware of. Right. The chick is great to look at. It's got plenty of gore and death and plenty of like LOL moments, I think, for this, horror comedy, so to speak. I really like this one, and I'm going to give this a solid 4 stars. I don't think I can give it 4.5 or 5. It's not even one of my favorites, but 4 I think is a solid ranking here. What about you, Tyler?
Like I said, every time I watch this movie, I like it a little bit more. If you asked me to rank it based on what I remembered of it, it'd probably be a lot lower. Originally, I think I put it at 3.5 the first time I watched it, but the second time I watched it for the show, I did actually raise it up to a 4 out of 5. I think Samara Weaving is awesome. She's
dude.
super likable and charming and badass towards the end. Her character arc is just super cool. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs, kind of goofy, quirky, pretty cool movie. 4 out of 5.
If I could do 3.75, that's what I do, because I feel like 3.5 is kind of too low, but I feel like 4 is like me giving it
Perfect.
a little
Too
bit too
high.
much, but not in like a bad way, just in like a not my vibe kind of way. I don't know. It's not a good answer, but to settle,
No, it's
I'll
not.
square up on 4 with you guys.
This is streaming on Disney Plus, I believe. Right?
Hulu,
I think
That's where I watched it.
Yeah. So this is accessible to those looking to check this out. We said Ready or Not 2, Here I Come is the second one. It's in theaters as you're seeing this. And it looks really cool. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see where the story continues. These directors, as we listed their projects, have a lot coming that sounds super fucking awesome. But yeah, make sure to check out their stuff. Go see number 2 when it comes to theaters, and don't be afraid to think outside the box office on this one, guys. Catch you later.